Ethan, a 28-year-old rideshare driver in Rochester, New York, is used to picking up odd passengers during late-night shifts. One cold, foggy evening, he's driving along a desolate stretch of Lake Avenue when his app pings for a pickup. He pulls over and sees a young woman standing by the roadside near an old lamppost. She's wearing a vintage blue dress and holding a leather suitcase. "Ethan, are you okay? It's freezing out here." "Woman, I just need to get home," she says softly, her voice trembling in the cold. Ethan steps out to help load her suitcase into the trunk and notices it feels unnaturally heavy, like it's filled with bricks. The woman climbs into the back seat, her gaze fixed on her lap. She quietly gives him an address located on the outskirts of the city, in an area he knows to be mostly abandoned. As they drive, Ethan tries to strike up a conversation. "That's a really unique dress. Heading back to see family?" The woman doesn't respond. She just stares out the window, her pale skin illuminated eerily by the street lights. Ethan glances at the rearview mirror, and his heart skips a beat. Her face doesn't reflect in the mirror. Trying to shake the feeling, he focuses on the road, but the woman begins to hum a soft, haunting melody. The tune seems familiar, like an old lullaby, but Ethan can't quite place it. When they finally arrive at the destination, Ethan pulls up to a crumbling farmhouse. The windows are boarded up, and the yard is overgrown with weeds. A rusty mailbox sits at the edge of the driveway, the name Bennett barely visible under years of grime. Ethan turns around to tell the woman they've arrived, but the back seat is empty. The leather suitcase is gone too. Panicked, Ethan steps out of the car and approaches the house. The air feels unnaturally cold. He knocks on the door, and after a long pause, an elderly man answers. Ethan explains the situation, describing the woman in the blue dress. The old man's face turns ashen. "That sounds like Evelyn, my daughter. But she passed away 20 years ago in a car accident on Lake Avenue." The man shows Ethan a faded photograph. It's the same woman he picked up. Shaken, Ethan drives back toward the city, his mind racing. As he pulls into a gas station to catch his breath, he notices something on the passenger seat, the leather suitcase. Heart pounding, Ethan cautiously opens it. Inside is a single photograph of Evelyn standing in front of the farmhouse. Scribbled on the back is a date, tonight. Claire, a 32-year-old journalist from Seattle, Washington, decides to spend her weekend hiking in the Cascade Mountains. Known for her adventurous spirit, Claire is always looking for new stories to tell, and the Cascades are rumored to have mysterious disappearances linked to an old legend. Despite warnings from locals about the Whispering Woods, Claire is determined to find out what lies within. As Claire enters the dense forest, the towering trees cast long shadows in the late afternoon light. She follows a barely visible trail, her camera ready to capture anything unusual. The forest is eerily quiet, no birds, no rustling leaves, just an unsettling silence. About an hour into her hike, Claire hears faint whispers. At first, she thinks it's just the wind, but the voices grow clearer. They're calling her name. Claire, come closer. Chilled to the bone but intrigued, she follows the sound, recording everything with her camera. The trail leads to an old, moss-covered stone archway. Beyond it is a clearing with a single, gnarled tree in the center. Hanging from its branches are dozens of small, hand-carved wooden dolls swaying gently, though there's no breeze. As she steps closer, the whispers grow louder and more desperate, overlapping in a cacophony of voices. Stay with us. You can't leave. Suddenly, Claire's camera glitches, the screen flickering with static. Her compass spins wildly, and her phone loses signal. Panicking, she tries to retrace her steps, but the path she came from is gone, replaced by an endless expanse of identical trees. The whispers become deafening, and Claire sees figures in the shadows. Pale, hollow-eyed people staring at her from between the trees. Among them is a boy, no older than 10, wearing a tattered scout uniform. He steps forward and whispers, "You shouldn't have come. They won't let you go." The boy points to the gnarled tree, and Claire realizes the dolls aren't dolls at all, they're shrunken, petrified figures of people. Claire sprints in the opposite direction, heart pounding, ignoring the whispers and shadowy figures chasing her. Just as she feels their icy hands brushing against her shoulder, she bursts through the tree line and onto the highway. A passing car screeches to a stop, and a man rushes out, asking if she's okay. Claire turns to point to the forest, but it's gone. Behind her is nothing but an open meadow. Later, when Claire reviews her camera footage, the screen shows her walking alone, talking to no one. But in the final seconds, the lens captures a clear shot of the boy in the scout uniform standing behind her, his face inches from the camera.